真的没看见了。啊，女孩子就站到这边来了。哎呀呀，哎呀呀，你们把先生丢到哪里去？来这边站我地方，你看抱到那边去了。男孩子还好吗？啊，会不会被太挤了？哎，奇怪，这个时代女孩子修很多啊啊！女孩子修很多哈 ，OK。可怜男孩子，在家里被欺负，来这里被娶。当和尚算了啊！佛教里面当和尚不当啊。Thank you, thank you. thank you. 我衣服是比较亮，亮人家才看呢，看着注意啊哈。黑黑的衣服外面都卖很多了，是不是？When I go shopping outside, look for clothes, mostly only black, gray, coffee color, coffee milk color, this all the time, yeah? And if you go to a man's house, you see, if you open his garderobe, black, 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 black. Many suits, all black, yeah? Sometimes I go from aeroplane, you know, before landing, I look down, all black, 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 you know, all the men. Sometimes all the men, for some reason, they gather that day, it's all black. The Taiwanese people, they're sitting outside. Only the 65 something are allowed to come in, you know, for whatever space left. Mostly on that side, nothing. And the woman already eaten up half of the man's size. I wonder what all the men are doing with their lives. Not trying to get enlightenment, nothing. The woman is smarter, I don't know why. Huh? Or it's just you tell the husband, stay home, take care of the kids, quiet, good, right? I'll be back soon, honey. Sweet talk him into working for you. Yes, I wonder. I wonder how come women are so smart and why men don't do the same stuff. You just sissy sass a little bit, then you get what you want. You don't know how, do you? Learn it from your wife or girlfriend. Do what they do. Give them the same medicine. Talk something, you know, tell some logic stuff. Oh, yes. Yeah. That's very good. She just told us that the mantra is useless, yes, because only the person who the mastery of that mantra, you know, like, then transmit it to you, then it has use, okay? That's why initiation cannot be written. You can't just write a book and then read it and become enlightened, or see the light or hear the sound. It has to be transmitted, yeah? Otherwise, you see Milarepa working so long years, build so many houses, get beaten black and blue, see nothing, hear nothing. Next to the master even, he sealed it so that maybe he not sealing it, but Milarepa wasn't pure enough. You see, he was not clean enough of the karma in order to even perceive anything. And he even sneaked to go to his master disciple, you know, to stealthily learn it, still get nothing. By the way, wrong concept, what are you doing? Just by the way, she reminded me something. I asked the people before, maybe you were not here, you know, what they do when they were eating. You know, they just hold a bowl like this, and then, I asked him, what's that mean? I say, Master, we asked Master to bless it before we eat. I thought you were offering something to me, at least from your heart. I'm not eating it, but everything is about you, me, I. And then I asked them why I came out that week. They said, oh, because Master want to see us. And the other one said, Master want to bless us. And the other one said, because Master think we are cold in here, so come out to comfort us. Everything is about us, 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 us. You have to turn it around, okay? That's why I teach them to offer to the Buddhas before they eat. Not ask for something all the time. But this is a tradition, always ask, oh, please, thank for the food that we're eating, bless our food for us. Oh my God. Poor God, so abused, so used. Okay? Turn around, offer something. Be thankful, okay? Yeah. I myself, I didn't offer anything. Mostly I don't, yeah? I just thank him. At least thank him, okay? I say, oh, the food belongs to you. Everything belongs to you anyway. How can I offer you anything? But thank you. And even if I don't offer, you know that I'm very grateful in my heart to all the things that I have, in this life. But for normal people, you should be thankful at least, offering to the Buddha won't eat it. It's just at least some filial spirit, grateful heart. Not always, bless, bless us, bless food, bless my house, bless this, everything for us. That's a wrong concept. Of course, the Master will bless your food, but why don't you, say something? Huh? Thank you, or my Master also have good food and enjoy or something. Always bless it, give me. That's wrong, okay? That's wrong. Your parents gave you all the things until you grown up. It's correct, yeah? But sometimes, now and then, you have to make some offering to them. Even they don't ask, you bring them to a restaurant, cook for them, something, Not always the parents give the whole life and then grown up already still want to take something. That's wrong concept, okay? We have to change. We have to be something better than just taking. In case you didn't know, maybe some of you know already. So where did I mark it then? Here. I saw many greens, that's why this green is the one. We should really thank the past masters, monks and nuns and scholars who have taken time to record the Buddha's teaching after the master's nirvana, and also for the past and present persons, lay or monks or nuns who have really dedicated themselves, sacrificed their time and precious health or under any difficult situation to translate this so that I can read it to you. And we have to thank them. And may they be blessed forever by all the Buddhas, past, present, and future. May their merit be immense. May they be liberated forever. Thank you. According to Buddhism and the believer and tradition, when you read sutra and all that, you have to put on incense, flower, and bow to the sutra first and thank all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, all respectfully, before you read it, okay? And then you cover the sutra also with silk or, beautiful cloth, and I just make it more popular. Yeah, more easy, simple. And I apologize to all the Buddha. I say if I done something wrong, according to the tradition, my heart is full of respect. It's just that I cannot always do that. So please, all the sin, whatever I've done wrong, is all on me. At least other people, they hear the names of the Buddha, according to the sutta, they will get benefit. Yes. The last one we talk about is the monk who contemplated on the body and the environment and realized that everything normally pure, but then some false concept or something that is impure arise and then mix with it and make it become not so pure. Yeah, originally it's all from the Buddha. This is what he said. But then some foulness, meaning impurity, arised, and then it mixed up, and then it looked like that. So he contemplated that and then became enlightened. Now the next monk, the pure youth moonlight. So maybe he's very young, he's a young monk named Moonlight, arose from his seat, bowed at the Buddha's feet, and said to the Buddha, I remember that long ago, beyond Kalpas, as many as there are sands in the Ganges, there was a Buddha in the world named Water God, who taught all the bodhisattvas to cultivate the contemplation of water and enter samadhi. I reflected upon how throughout the body the essence of water is not in discord. I started with mucus and saliva and went on through digestive juices, phlegm, semen, blood to urine and excrement. As it revolved through my body, the nature of water was identical. I saw that the water in my body was not at all different from that in the world outside, even that in royal lands of floating banners, with all their seas of fragrant waters. At that time, when I first succeeded in the contemplation of water, I could see only water. I still had not gotten beyond my physical body. I was a bhikshu then, at that time, and now he also is, but at that time he was. And once when I was in dhyana, repose, in my room, dhyana means meditation, Zen, a disciple of mine peeked in the window and saw only pure water there, which filled the entire room. He saw nothing else. The lad was young, that disciple of his, and not knowing any better, he picked up a tile and tossed it into that water in the room. The monk was contemplating water. Therefore, he identified himself even already with water. He so concentrated that nothing else there except water. And then his disciples saw only water. He's just a kid, Normally you see water and sometimes they throw a stone to see it, boom, something like that. To see the circle. Yeah, they do that with no reason. It hit the water with a plunk. He gazed around and then left. When I came out of concentration, I was suddenly aware of a pain in my heart, and I felt like Sariputra must have felt when he met that cruel ghost. That's another story. I thought to myself, I am already an arhat and have long since abandoned conditions that bring on illness, mean he won't get sick ever. Yes. Why is it that today I suddenly have a pain in my heart? Am I about to lose the position of non-retreat? Meaning, position of non-retreat, just like non-return, I mean, you always forward, you never go back to the physical existence ever again. I mean, you're forward already. You would never coming back. But he doubts it because he has a pain in his heart. And he thinks maybe he lost their status. Maybe he has to. Maybe one day he somehow return to the ordinary status, like a human or whatever in the physical. Just then, he was wondering like that. Just then, the young lad came promptly to me and related what had happened. I quickly said to him, when you see the water again, you may open the door, wade into the water and remove the tile. Redo the things, redo the action. The child was obedient, so that when I re-entered Samadhi, he again saw the water and the tile as well. He opened the door and took it out. Imagine, huh? When I came out of concentration, my body had returned to normal. This sounds like a fairy tale. Imagine, you already have so much concentration so that you became even identical with water, with whatever the object that you concentrated upon, and still cannot discard whatever that is added onto your being at that time, such as a stone, or the tie from the kid. Imagine, yeah? So collective karma does happen, does exist, yeah? That's what it is. Even though we don't do anything wrong, but if we associate with wrong people, they can also contaminate you, make trouble. Yeah, even modern people understand that. They say, choose your friends carefully, yeah? And in the Bible even say, don't be among meat eater, wine drinker. Yeah, ancient time, new time, is all the same wisdom that we should choose our associate carefully, yeah, if we can. Sometimes we cannot. So just protect yourself with the 5 holy names, okay? And whatever the power of your meditation, pray to the Master to protect you, and maybe you're okay, yeah? That is a problem, yeah? We live in the society. It's not possible to always avoid. Sometimes I say a house, but actually it's not. When I say my house, it's actually a cave. Because we always say, my house, my house. Cave is a very rare phenomenon. So I forgot. Just like recently, I have to talk to a being called the Ultimate Master, the Self. And I forgot that name all the time. I keep saying, Supreme Master, Enlightened Master, Highest Master, Omnipresent, anything but the Ultimate Master. And I have to redo it again and say, sorry, I forgot. I have to say the Ultimate Master when I talk to that being, my great self, whatever. It's habit, when something new is difficult to remember. So therefore, being greatly enlightened doesn't exempt you from all the troubled water around you, huh? Okay? Just be always vigilant and protect yourself with all you have, though. And pray to the Master, also always stand by. But sometimes it's not because of the collective karma, sometimes because of your karma. You did something in the past, and that one rubbed off into the present, which is the condition through which you can be born and live until you die. It's the present karma, yeah? Or maybe you have done something and you forget this lifetime. Yeah. Add on karma. After initiation, if you don't add on any karma, then you're clean. You should be safe enough, yeah. But if you associate with other people, of course, then it's not as smooth as if you just, if at the time of initiation you keep to yourself until, you're gone, then maybe less trouble. But that's easier said than done. Otherwise you wouldn't have come here. You would have just stayed with me, or you just have become a monk or nun somewhere, or just stay somewhere enjoying yourself. Outside, feel lonelier than when you're alone. Believe me, it's like that. I feel lonelier when I'm in the city with the crowd or in the restaurant, that kind of life. I feel more lonely than when I was in the Himalaya all by myself. And I feel the food don't taste as pure, even though so many flavor, not as good as when I was in the Himalaya, back in my own chapati and peanut butter, and drink the Ganges River. By the way, today we mentioned that about my happy time, my happiest time. And you say, oh, we can all go there. And if you go there, then it's not happiest time anymore. What's the difference? If I sit there, talk to you, or sit here, talk to you? You're so cute. I meant alone, yeah? In a small little hut, living with scorpion and snakes and centipede, whatever. Yeah, I don't feel as scared as when I live in the city. This kind of fear, from people around you, or from the situation, or from the world, it just rub off on you. So even if you live together among the people, you still sometimes feel some airy kind of feeling, some not safe feeling. Huh? Yeah. So I had to lock my door all the time, just at least a peace of mind, Otherwise, every little boom outside or something, I woke up from samadhi even. Yeah, don't feel that safe. Yeah. Even sometimes I forgot to lock the door. Heaven woke me up. Say, security. I say, what means security? Something wrong? And then I look around. I did not lock the door. Yeah, it's funny, It's funny. And they would give me messages of some kind of warning. I told you a long time ago that when they send a message, there are some sound, either like melodious music or some ring like a phone or like a fax machine or like SMS, snooze or something like that. But if you sit next to me, you won't hear it. It's just very loud. Sometimes very loud. I mean, loud enough for me to hear. Even during my sleep, I would wake up right away. And I ask, what's wrong? Okay. Then they would send me the email. Okay. Yeah, normally it's very short. It's not long because if it's too long, I'm too tired, to check it out. It's very to the point, and short, very short. 1 or 2 sentences, 5 words, 3 words, 4 words, or 1 word. And then they let you guess what's the rest of it. That's why when they say security, I wonder what, And then I just look around, yeah, maybe it's the door. And sometimes I want to go somewhere and they told me not going. They just say, don't go, that's it. And I have to figure out why. Or I have to ask them, why is that? Because figure it out take too long, I have to go to Akashic record or whatever. It's very tiring, yeah? So I asked them why, and then they told me, maybe that's one word, not safe or unsafe, just like that. Then it's clear enough, there's no need to explain. But if I want to know why unsafe, then of course they will explain. They can be very long-winded also, but mostly they know I don't like long-winded, so they keep it short. Okay, yeah, the calendar again, huh? Yeah, you like the calendar part, don't you? Huh? Okay, now the monk continue. I encountered limitless Buddhas and cultivated in this way until the coming of the third come one, king of masterful penetration of mountains and seas. That's the name of the other Buddha. Until that time, he cultivated until that Buddha come into his life, his world. Then I finally had nobody. My nature and the seas of fragrant waters throughout the 10 directions were identical with true emptiness, without any duality or difference. Now I am with the third come one and am known as a pure youth, and I have joined the assembly of Bodhisattvas. I mean, all this time he has been so pure like that, and he has never felt his body. He always identified himself with either the fragrant sea, the body of seawater, or river, whatever. He had no body at all this time. He has the body, but maybe he's too purely concentrated. So even though he's born, he always feels like he's water. Lucky nobody keeps throwing stone into his body. Otherwise, not only heart pain, your liver, lung, and everything. Imagine going outside there and seeing the body of the water moving in front of you or behind you. Wouldn't you feel like, okay, test it? Throw the boom. See if it's real water or your illusion. Don't do that. If you see some chunk of water moving in front of you, stay away from it. You might get wet, okay? And don't throw stone in him. Now he joined the assembly of Sakyamuni Buddha, and then he became a monk. The Buddha asked about perfect penetration by means of the nature of water. I penetrated through to the flow of a single flavor, and I obtained patience with the non-existence of beings and phenomena, and the perfection of Buddhi. This is the foremost method, concentration on water. So it's not like you just contemplate on water. or different kind of water. You see, even the water that mixed with your excrement or urine, he's so pure that he has no differentiation. All of that, it's just like pure water to him. That's why he say he's successful in contemplating water until only one flavor, one water flavor. There's no difference between water or defiled water or pure water to him. Okay, next one, the Dharma Prince, Vaidurya Light, his name, arose from his seat, bowed at the Buddha's feet, and said to the Buddha, I can still remember back through eons, as many as the sands of the Ganges. You know everything. Maybe I don't need to read. I just need the name. I read the name. You add on the rest in your mind. I read it for the sake of somebody at home, okay, who are not here. Otherwise, you know everything already. I remember that to the time of a Buddha named Limitless Sound, who, life after life, always Buddha coming and going, huh? Lucky us, huh? Who instructed the Bodhisattvas that fundamental enlightenment is wonderful and bright. He taught them to contemplate this world and all the beings in it as false conditions propelled by the power of wind. That Buddha at that time told his disciples to recognize that this world and everything in it is illusion, anyway, by the power of the wind. Meaning from nothing. It's born from nothing. How can the power of the wind create anything? So that just means illusion. This world is false. So contemplate on that. At that time, I contemplated the position of the world, and I regarded the passage of time in the world. I reflected on the movement and stillness in my body. I considered the arising of thoughts in the mind. All these kinds of movements were non-dual. They were equal and the same. I then understood that the nature of movement does not come from anywhere and does not go anywhere. Every single material particle throughout the 10 directions and every upside-down living being in it is of the same empty falseness. Upside down, yeah? You never know if the earth is up or down now. We are sitting here upright, but maybe our heads are down, we don't know. Huh? The world keeps rolling, and sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. So every upside-down living being in it is true. Huh? So all of that is empty, is illusion. And so, throughout the 3,000 great thousands worlds, the living beings in each of the worlds were like so many mosquitoes confined in a trap and droning monotonously. Caught in those few square inches, their hum built to a maddening crescendo. Not long after I encountered the Buddha, Shakyamuni, I attained patience with the non-existence of beings and phenomena. My mind then opened, and I could see the country of the Buddha unmoving in the east. I became a Dharma prince and served the Buddhas of the 10 directions. My body and mind emit a light that makes them completely clear and translucent. The Buddha asked about perfect penetration. I contemplated the power of wind as lacking anything to rely on, and I awakened to the body-mind. I entered Samadhi and meshed with the single wonderful mind transmitted by all the Buddhas of the 10 directions. This is the foremost method, according to him. Contemplate on the wind. Can you? I mean the nature of the wind, he means nature of the wind. You must really be concentrating. Then the essence will reveal to you. It's not about the wind because you can't see the wind, you can't touch the wind, you can't even imagine what this wind is like. Huh? But if you concentrate, you think about it long enough, and also because the Buddha transmitted this method, by the power of the Buddha, things will become clear to a practitioner. So he thinks, concentrating on the wind is his method. There are so many different methods, In Vietnam, one of the masters tell his disciples just lay down or sit down and look up on the ceiling and put a piece of red cloth, concentrate on that. And they also, okay. Long time ago, one of the enlightened masters in Vietnam taught that method. Just concentration. Or somebody concentrate on the candlelight. Now, another one. Everything clear of that monk from him, yeah? Okay, we go next one. The clearer the story, the less calendar. And I like it also. Because by now you understand so many things already. I don't have to explain anymore, right? Even I just say one word, you can fill in the rest already, right? The sands of the Ganges River, eons of Kaaba. Now, there was another monk named Treasury of Emptiness Bodhisattva, arose from his seat, bowed to the Buddha's feet and said to the Buddha, "The thirst come one, and I attained boundless bodies at the place of the Buddha, Samadhi light." It's one of the ancient Buddha. At that time, I held in my hands 4 huge precious pearls, which shone on Buddha lands as many as the motes of dust in the 10 directions, and transformed them into emptiness. In my mind, there appeared a great perfect mirror, which emitted from within 10 kinds of subtle, wonderful, precious light that poured out into the 10 directions to the farthest bounds of emptiness. All the royal lands of Barnas came into the mirror and passed into my body. There was no hindrance to this interaction because my body was like emptiness. My body could enter with ease as many countries as there are fine motes of dust, and could do the Buddha's work on a wide scale because it had become completely compliant. I achieved this great spiritual power from contemplating in detail how the 4 elements lack anything to return to, and how the production and extinction of false thoughts is no different from emptiness, how all the Buddha lands are basically the same. Once I realized this identity, I obtained patience with the non-existence of beings and phenomena. The Buddha asked about perfect penetration. I used the contemplation of the boundlessness of emptiness to enter samadhi and attain wonderful power and perfect clarity. This is the foremost method. You see that? Another one who contemplate the measureless emptiness. But still, it's not like that. This is the power of the Buddha that transmitted to him. So awaken in him this ability, is clarity, purity, in order to perceive wondrous things, which is normal man cannot. And normally he also cannot ever experience before. So that's his method. I'm just reread to see if anything I need to explain. Anything I need to explain? You're enlightened already, right? No. Now, next Bodhisattva named Maitreya Bodhisattva arose from his seat, bowed at the Buddha's feet and said to the Buddha, I remember when, as many kalpas ago, as there are 5 motes of dust. Oh, it's a change. It's not again just river sand anymore. It's good. A Buddha named Light of Sun, Moon, and Lamp. Oh, there's so many lights, sun, moon, and lamp. In the old time, they have great names, auspicious names. appeared in the world. Under that Buddha, I left the home life, yet I was deeply committed to worldly fame and liked to fraternize with people of good family, buddies, with influential people, instead of one-pointedness, listening or practicing the Buddha's teaching. He's still buddy with powerful people. And get influence or some good things. Then the world honor one, means that Buddha. Then the world honor one taught me to cultivate consciousness, only concentration, just consciousness. And I enter that samadhi. For many aeons I have made use of that samadhi as I perform deeds, as many Buddhas as there are sands in the Ganges river. My seeking for worldly name and fame ceased completely and never recurred. Purified, done with the worldly fame. When burning lamp Buddha appeared in the world, I finally accomplished the unsurpassed, wonderful, perfect samadhi of consciousness. I went on until to the ends of emptiness, all the lands of the thirst-come one, whether pure or defiled, existent or non-existent, were transformations appearing from within my own mind. Yeah, all the universe he realized inside him. Were honored one, he addressed the Buddha now. Were honored one, because I understand consciousness, only thus the nature of consciousness reveals limitless, thirst-come ones. Now I have received the prediction that I will be the next to take the Buddha's place. Wow. The Buddha asked about perfect penetration. I was intent upon the contemplation that the 10 directions come only from consciousness, only from your own consciousness. When the conscious mind is perfect and bright, one enters the perfection of the real. One leaves behind reliance on others and attachment to incessant calculating and attains the patience with the non-existence of beings and phenomena. This is the foremost method. Okay, there's a lot of philosophical talk. Just mean he attained enlightenment, okay? Simple, clear. So for him, that is the best method. Cultivate consciousness. Next, Dharma Prince, great strength. Together with 52 bodhisattvas of similar rank, arose from his seat, bowed at the Buddha's feet, and said to the Buddha, I remember when, as many as kalpas and... Okay, good, you have good memory. So, as many aeons ago as there are sands in the Ganges, yes, a Buddha called Limitless Light appeared in the world. In the same aeon, there were 12 successive thirst-come ones. Oh, in the same aeons, not the same time, huh? Aeon, long time. Okay, so the 12 Buddhas have appeared in the world together with this Buddha. Altogether, 13 Buddhas appeared in one aeon. So how many hundreds of thousand years one Buddha come? A lot. Huh? Not like every 1,000 years one Buddha come, huh? Not necessary. Yeah, maybe teacher teach the same method, but not master. It's a different story, okay? Different story. The last of these successive thirst-come ones named light surpassing the sun and moon. Wow. So if you see this Buddha, maybe you have to cover yourself because his light is even brighter than the sun. We could hardly look at the sun already. If he's brighter than the sun, what we do? Huh? Go see the Buddha, buy sunglasses. Simple. Still must go see him, okay? Buy sunglasses and shade yourself. Buddha, are you still there? That Buddha taught me the Buddha recitation samadhi. Just like nowadays, the Lotus sect of the Buddhism, the Zen sect of Buddhism, they keep repeating something. Or they repeat the name of Amitabha Buddha, yeah? Yeah. And that is called Buddha's name recitation. And then you can enter samadhi, supposed to be, yeah, like here. Suppose there were a person who always remembers someone else, but someone else he remembers has entirely forgotten about him. If two such people were to meet, even if they were to see each other, they would not take notice. They would not recognize each other. If two people remember each other until the memory of each is deep, then in life after life, they will be together like a form and its shadow. And they will never be at odds with each other. Out of pity for living beings, the thus come ones of the 10 directions are mindful of them, as a mother remembers her child. If the child runs away, of what use is the mother's regard? But if the child remembers his mother in the same way that the mother remembers the child, then in life after life the mother and child will not be far apart. If living beings remember the Buddha and are mindful of the Buddha, certainly they will see the Buddha now or in the future. They will never be far from the Buddha, and their minds will awaken by themselves without the aids of experience. A person who has been near incense will carry a fragrance on his person. It is the same in this case. It is called an adornment of fragrant light. On the causal ground, I used mindfulness of the Buddha to enter into patience with the non-existence of beings and phenomena. Sometimes in the ancient time they used different expression that we don't. It's difficult to translate. Now in this world I gather whatever it is enlightened. Okay? Just enlightened. Now in this world I gather in all those who are mindful of the Buddha and bring them back to the Pure Land. The Buddha asks about perfect penetration. I would select none other than gathering in the 6 organs through continuous pure mindfulness to obtain samadhi. This is a foremost method. Whatever it is, you don't want to practice, right? So we don't need to explain. Yeah, just make more crowded your mind. So because he attained enlightenment, he could even take other beings, and help them to go to Pure Land, liberated as well. Not bad. Whatever method that was, he was enlightened enough to take some people with him. Some soul, back to the Buddha's land. So he thinks that is the best method. Gathering in the 6 organs through continuous pure mindfulness. Meaning, it's just transfer, all the feeling from any organs in his body and just all concentrate, Instead of paying attention to the heart pumping or the liver pinching or the blood coursing through his body, through his lung or whatever, he just transformed them all into pure one-pointed concentration. Then he attains samadhi and get this power. So for him, transforming, gathering all the organs together into one-pointedness, that is the best method. Then, we're almost at the end now. One seeing Bodhisattva, we're at the end now. Yeah. But there's a calendar coming from her power. Yeah, pay attention, Guanyin Bodhisattva, important VIP here, yeah? And she will tell you the benefit of practicing Guanyin method, okay? Not just why, but how she get power and what she can do with that power to help whom, where, how. Okay? Right. Important. Listen. Kuan Yin Bodhisattva arose from his seat. Here he's a man. In Asian, mostly when we talk about Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, we always imagine as a lady, because when she was known to us, she was a lady. Through some legend, she became Bodhisattva through a female form. And she appeared to most of disciples at that time or after Buddha time in a female form, adorned with dignified dress and a bottle of water and a twig of willow to purify you with the water. Yeah, that's what she known in China and in Vietnam also. But here in India at that time, as a he, so the Kuan Yin Bodhisattva arose from his seat, bowed at the Buddha's feet and said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, I remember when, as many kalpas as there are sands in the Ganges River." Wow, God, you are good. You passed your exam anytime. There was a Buddha in the world named contemplating the world's sounds, the sounds of the world. Sounds, many sounds. It was under that Buddha that I brought forth the Bodhi resolve. I mean, she decided she wanted to attain Bodhi, to attain enlightenment, attain Buddhahood. Bodhi wisdom. That Buddha taught me to enter Samadhi through a process of hearing and reflecting. Initially, I entered the flow through hearing and forgot objective states. Since the sense objects and sense organs were quiet, the two characteristics of movement and stillness crystallized and did not arise. After that, gradually advancing, the hearing and what was heard both disappeared. Once the hearing was ended, there was nothing to rely on, and awareness and the objects of awareness became empty. When the emptiness of awareness reached an ultimate perfection, emptiness and what was being empty then also ceased to be. Since production and extinction were gone, still extinction was revealed, still tranquil. Suddenly I transcended the mundane and transcendental worlds, and throughout the 10 directions a perfect brightness prevailed. I obtained two supreme states. First, I was united above with the fundamental, wonderfully enlightened mind of all the Buddhas of the 10 directions, and I gained a strength of compassion equal to that of all the Buddhas, the thirst come ones. Wow, incredible. Through hearing only. Contemplating the word sounds doesn't mean the worldly sounds, Because in the Diamond Sutra, the Buddha also reminds the practitioners that if you rely on sounds or forms to reach enlightenment, then you will never see Buddha. It means the normal light, the normal sound here, and the form, meaning maybe you just rely on the Buddha's form, the statues, something like that, or chanting or whatever that make noise, you won't be able to attain Buddhahood. That's what he meant. In the Diamond Sutra, it's another sutra, very famous Diamond Sutra. Because the Buddha taught Kuan Yin Bodhisattva at that time to enter Samadhi through a process of hearing and reflecting. If you keep concentrating and hearing the outer sound, there's no way you enter Samadhi. If the Buddha tells you continue to hear the sound around you, then it cannot be that he can enter Samadhi. And reflecting as well, contemplating on that sound. So that's not the sound that we hear normally. But the Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, attained 2 supreme states, and then he was united with all the Buddhas in the 10 directions and be able to make use of the transference of compassion and the transference of strength, from all the 10 directions, Buddhas. If you are one with the master, or the master of all the 10 directions, of course you share their quality. Whatever they have, you have, because you become one with the Buddhas, with the masters. Therefore she has all the compassion, the strength of compassion equal to that of all the Buddhas. At that time she became one. She lost herself already. He lost himself, lost the ego self. That was the first power that Kuan Yin Bodhisattva gained through the hearing method. The second power he gained. Second, I was united below with all living beings in the 6 paths, and I gained a kind regard for all living beings equally. On the upper, he connected with all the Buddhas and has all their power of compassion. And then on the second power is that he also connected with the lower level, meaning all beings in the 6 paths of existence, namely hell, ghost, vicious animal, asura, human, 6 paths. What is Korea?
天人、
天人、
阿修罗、地狱、恶鬼、畜生。
对了 ，you miss one. Okay, never mind. You done well for your age. You're better than me. We're both old, we don't remember. We have to ask younger people. It's translated as heaven, human, asura, hungry ghosts, hell, animals, whatever. We're not interested. We don't want to even remember anything. Okay? These things no good for us. We have no relation. Just get lost. All right. When they say heaven, doesn't mean high heaven. It could be the heaven of the 33, it could be the heaven of the chakra. God, the naughty one, always making trouble for the master and the practitioners. These are also heaven. But we don't even want that kind of heaven. They are short-lived, and they're not worthy of our attention or desire to go there. Mostly when a practitioner begins on his truth-seeking path, these kind of gods from these kind of heaven always come around and try to test them and make it trouble for them because they worry. Therefore, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, because of the Kuan Yin practice, she can unite with all the Buddha as well as the suffering beings from the low heaven down to the hell. That's what he said.